Hello and welcome to the first in what I hope to be a long successful line of videos called Dumpit Diaries, featuring Dumpit, a 2002 Peugeot 106. So a number of sort of goals with these videos. Basically I'm going to be looking to see how cheap I can run a 22-year-old Peugeot as a daily driver. And I'm talking cheap. I want it to be really cheap, like the budgie. As I mentioned in the first video, this car was given to me for free, so I have an opportunity to see how cheap I can run a car, and I'm getting moderately small income from YouTube on this car. So at the end of the video, I will show you what this car is costing me so far. This particular video is a little different to the others. The others will be a little bit better structured. Reason being, chronologically, this video has gone up the spout. You'll see why in a minute. So at the end of this video, we'll revisit by way of a graph to see just exactly how much Dumpit is costing me per mile. I have done some basic research, but I will do some better research later on, hopefully with the help of a friend who knows about these things. But by my calculations, the cheapest car to run that you can buy brand new today in the UK isn't even a car, it's a quadricycle, the Citroen Ami. Apparently that's 40p per mile. So can I keep Dumpit under 40p per mile? We'll have to find out, I suppose, at the end of the video. Hello, it's early on in Dumpit's career and we've had a failure. And when I say early on, I mean I haven't actually filmed the intro video for Dumpit yet. Like, I haven't announced it. Yeah, because this happened like yesterday or the day before. Not a massive problem, but I had to film this little bit to get this recorded so that when I've done the intro I can put this out. How stupid is that? I'm not going to get time to do the intro till next week, but that's the life of a YouTuber. It's so hard. The problem is related to the driving controls. Now I don't have the key on me at the moment, but if you want to indicate to go right, you indicate to go right. If you want to indicate to go left, oh, I've got the keys. Anyway, I mean it works, but you have to hold it down. It's working fine, and then it just didn't. Yeah, so I have bought another switch. Now, because I'm trying to have this car as a miserly motoring experience, Dumpit will be full of savings. I've bought a cheap, sort of non-branded, I imagine from the Far East, indicator stalk. So we'll see how that works. And because the eBay seller is a bit of a numpty, they've sent me the one for front and rear fog lamps. But I think there's a chance it'll work, so I might just fit that rather than faff about trying to send it back. I just realised, that a pen holder? Can't be. I mean, it's nifty if it is, but right. So let's find the other stalk, and then it shouldn't take too much to remove it. It should be quite a quick change. He says. Right. So here's my generic, non-branded type. It doesn't feel as good as a Value one, admittedly, but it works. But it's got front and then front rear fog lamps. This one's only got rear, which is a little frustrating, and it does look a bit crap compared to the other side, if I'm honest. But, well, we'll stick it in. It's easy to change it. Well, that switch really is horrible and cheap looking. I'd love to tell you it won't bother me, but it's going to bother me. Right, there we go. Part number one. Right, and then it should just slide out like gracefully. Right. Oh, what a fight. Yeah, that's well and truly balked. Come on. God. Right, I think that's in. Let's try... We've got indicators. They self-cancel. It looks like it fully works. Yeah, we've got main beam. So basically that first position, the front fog light position, does nothing. Because it is Povo spec, innit? Will I be able to get this back in here? No. Don't be silly. Well, this fits nicely. Wow, that's not going to fall out. I can't even get the... Why won't that come off? That's really bugging me. On the Saxo, it's just got two little teeth that locate in the dash. This one had 3 screws, but they've... I think it's... Oh, hang on. Anyway, there's a different method of fitting to the Saxo, despite the fact they are the same car. Right, let's just double check. It all works. Ow. Well, that doesn't fit properly. This is why you don't buy cheap parts. But this is supposed to be miserly motoring. So I had provided cheap parts to test them so that you don't have to. I mean, this stalk cost $16.99. So it was never going to be amazing, was it? It's brand new. $16.99. It doesn't fit properly. These holes don't line up. This would be one of the most boring videos on YouTube if I couldn't edit it. In fact, to be fair, it's debatable whether it is now. I don't want to tighten this up too much because the bolts are going in on the wonk because the hole doesn't line up with the hole in the housing. That'll do. Oh, that feels horrible. The broken one feels nicer. Right, I made the choice. I'll tell you what, it's a lot harder to take this off with the steering wheel on than it is on the Saxo. Oh, there you go. So that's that. That's out of bed. And then that goes on there. Oh, it feels damn horrible. Starting to regret my decision now. Because a new one was like 50 quid. Like a proper one. But that might have been 50 quid well spent, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long this one hangs on for. This has been a rather ugly job. It has to be said. Oh, it's horrible. I'm sorry, Dumpit. I've wronged you. But Dumpit is now working again, which it was not before. But I'm going to do something else to make it up to Dumpit. Dumpit came with a couple of OEM rubber mats from the Peugeot parts catalogue, or Peugeot accessories catalogue. But observe, there is a lump here and on the other side. I don't actually know why that lump's there. There's only a lump of polystyrene behind it, but later 106s and Saxos have that, and the mat has a cutout for it, which has not been cut out. So we're going to right that wrong. Yeah. Oh, that was a nice, satisfying job. Nice and quick and easy. I've probably just devalued some rather expensive OEM accessories there that could have been sold to someone with a GTI or something, but I don't care. These are Dumpits. Dumpits mats. How cool is this, right? It's so poverty spec. I can lock it like this. I love that. Only other thing I think I'm going to need at the moment is the arch liner in the offside front is it's missing. It's in there. I've got it, but it's broken. And I went and had a look at a Saxo one at home this morning, a spare Saxo one, which is different, of course. These are more like an AX's. So, yeah, I'll probably try and repair the one I've got rather than buy a new one, because obviously we can save money whilst keeping Dumpit respectable and preventing the arches from being rusted out. This car is a lesson in how to live miserly, but not at the sake of not, as a result of neglect. I'm not neglecting it. I cut the mats out. Yeah, I didn't promise the first video was going to be particularly exciting. It came unexpectedly. I wasn't expecting to have to fix something on it that quickly, but luckily it was something quite cheap. So as you can see, I have a list of costs along the side here, and the key point to note here is that Dumpit is currently costing 45 pence per mile, including everything except insurance. That is the only thing this is not including. That's 45p a mile, everything. Purchase cost, it doesn't really have one because it was free, but it includes tax, it includes parts, it includes fuel, everything. 45p a mile. Now that doesn't sound crazy cheap. Some people would be looking at this and going, I would have expected that to be less, seeing as there's no purchase price. It's still got fuel in it. It's still got half a tank in it. So the more miles I do, the lower that rate will come down. I think it'll dip down to about 38p a mile, something like that. It's got a good 150 miles worth of fuel in it, possibly more than that. The other thing is that if I include the YouTube income from this, it's actually 35p a mile at the moment. In fact, if I include the YouTube income, this car owes me £27. By the end of June 2024, it owed me £27. So I think it'll owe me more at the end of the next Dumpit Diary, which will come at the end of July, but I think that's pretty good. Now, I couldn't have done this without the car being kindly donated by viewer Paul. Maybe I'll come up with an extra figure, maybe allow a token price of the car, 800, 900 quid, something like that, whatever it would cost to buy a similar car. But that isn't the ultimate goal for me. The ultimate goal is to see just how cheap I can run a car. So at the moment, it's 45p a mile or 35p a mile if I take in the earnings from these videos. So yeah, thank you very much for all your comments and your views and your likes and your subscribes. There's all these things you do right? I'm not asking you to do any of them, but even if you write nasty things in the comments, which some people do, you're earning me money. So yeah. Well, we'll count it again at the end of July.